Hey guys, what's up? All right. Double Deuce back. I said I was going to do a segment on my Bruise Buster, Clod Bruiser, whatever you want to call it. This one here, this is probably going to get rebuilt one more time. There's a million of those HG-P407 frames all over the internet. You can buy them, pretty right. So I don't know. I got this soft spot in my heart for these bruisers. You can see I got, plenty of them. And if I do convert these into something different, like I got a couple of original ones, that I always keep around, and tons of parts. But this one here was one I bought back in the 80s and converted to gas. I put a 25 Super Tiger on the factory 3-speed tranny, and it was insane. It was very unstable for the fact of it had the stock, Bruiser wheels and tires on it. But I had put these Clodbuster tires on back then. If you took your rim apart over here and you used the back half of the rim and turned it around and just bolted that on your Bruiser rear end, it fit perfectly inside these here, and you could actually wedge the Clodbuster wheels over top of it, and it would stop at that little recess right there, so they weren't all wobbly or nothing. And you could either glue them or put a couple of screws in them or whatever. And I just stuck them in there just to, so it would be like a safety release mechanism if it got too out of hand, and it did. Unfortunately, it didn't work very well. So the 25 Super Tiger, it destroyed the transmission. Well, first the slipper clutch, the transmission, and both rear ends and both drive shafts. It just wore them right out, but it was insane. It was crazy fun. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the 8-scale buggies. This was comparable to that. I had a Kyosho Burns at the time, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with those things. Those are insanely fast, and this thing was just as fast, and it was nuts. I would run over trees and everything, but that was the problem. You start running over small trees and jumping massive, dirt piles with the thing. It just took its toll on the drive gear on the thing. So what I did was I come up with the idea of putting the Clodbuster rear ends under it, and I did I had the plastic ones under it. I bought all the parts and put them underneath it and come up with a kind of like a, it's a leaf spring suspension. I left it just like that, so it'd be like the original monster trucks back in the day. And I put on some links on here. Inside this one here, I just wrapped them around the rear ends. I put a spring in here, so when it comes down, if you notice, the rear end comes back on the front, so it would give it some extra give. And on the back, it's just a follower, You see, there's no shocks on this yet, but it's, I got to come to that. But I come up with my own servo mount in the front, and I kind of look kind of dorky, I think, but I'm more of a scale guy. I like to bring a lot of scale into stuff. But as far as the rear ends go, and I bought the housing separately, and then I had bought the actual housings. You can zoom in on here so you guys can get a good look at it. And I bought the actual housings. They're all hot racing stuff, and I think these housings here were in Teggy or whatever, Indigi or whatever they call it. They were cheap money. And like I say, I bought the outer knuckles and all that stuff, and I already had full bearings in it and everything. But it's pretty cool. It sets right underneath there. So if you got an HG-P407, and you want to make a monster truck out of it, and I don't know how strong them factory rear ends are, but I just had a video segment where I had a 9-turn brushless 3-cell running through that stock configuration with a 4-wheel drive conversion, and I have to say I'm pretty impressed. I've not seen no drive shaft wear yet, and I've not seen anything break, and we'll find out, because I love pushing things to the limit, and I guess I just like testing and engineering. But you know, you have fun doing it too. So, like I say, any questions, comments on that? If anybody wants to do anything like that or whatever, let me know. I'm going to take this back apart, and this is an original, you know, 58-48 Bruiser frame, and it's going to go back to an original 58-48 Bruiser. And I'll use an HG-P407 frame out there, because that's what they're for. You know, you save the good stuff and, you know, take the clone stuff and build it and alter it or do whatever you want to. So anyways, like, share, subscribe if you like. Any questions, comments, feel free to hit me up. And you guys have a good one. Later. Adios.